All right.
Oh my God. Let the
All right,
games
everybody's ready up
begin.
here? Monica, you ready? Steve, you're good. You're rolling? Okay. The time is 7:08. Everybody please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So tonight, Lucy is not with us. Tom is also absent. Scott is also absent. So I will entertain a motion to see Tracy Rappa in replacement of Lucy.
Motion to replace.
Motion by Betty Ann.
Make a second.
Second by Jim. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstained?
Nope.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. So we'll just introduce everybody up here like we've been doing. So down on my left, Tracy Rappa, alternate, in replacement for Lucy. Next to her is Jim Cotella. On my direct left is Bev Kennedy. To my right, Betty Ann Peck, Krista Hanowitz, and Carol Mordowanek. And I'm Chairman Richard Demko. I keep forgetting that every time. Sorry. All right.
We know who you are.
No. You guys do. So next, we're going to be going over our revenues. That's the goal for tonight. We're just going to do it the same way that we did it with the expenses the other day. But before we get into that, we had a couple questions pertaining to the expenditures that we had Jason look into. One of which was the Registrar of Voters early voting supplies, and then we had a question on the salary for town operations. So Jason, we'll turn it over to you, and you could just start with the Registrar of Voters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of the Board. Registrar of Voters, there was a question at the last meeting regarding the $2,000 for the early voting supplies. I spoke with her and she said that put zero for that line item because we're going to have the grant money in, and that should cover anything we need for the early registration.
Okay.
Okay. As for the town operations, the current salary at $125,000 is a correct amount, and is the negotiated salary for the next fiscal year.
Okay. All right. Thank you for gathering that information. Does anybody have any questions on that up here, or any further discussion pertaining to the answers that we've just received? No.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so then just a couple other housekeeping things. So we got a little bit of information today. So our fund balance is up 10.38%, which is a total of $6,480,096.
Can you read that off again?
Here. You can have.
Thank you.
And then our surplus this year, we're looking at estimated surplus, yes,
Go back to
estimated
the,
surplus, about 642,000. Okay, so you need the fund balance number. Okay, so the fund balance number is $6,480,096, and that represents a 10.38% increase. Which is pretty good.
Excellent.
Yes, very, very good.
Excellent.
Other things, which I think we're probably going to get to when we get through that section and everything, are principal and interest and debt services, and then our debt to income ratio. So just we'll get to that eventually in here, but I'll say it now just in case we don't get to that. Principal and interest is $3,579,536, and that represents a 5.4% debt to income ratio. Okay, so everybody is good with that up here. It's just information that we need. Mostly the fund balance total is mostly what's pertinent to us when it comes to the revenues, because when we get to that part down here, we're going to see that there's going to be a little bit of the fund balance recommended to you, so we will have a discussion on that when we get there. So, anybody have any questions on all the information that I just gave? Okay, so then we're just gonna start moving on with revenues. Okay. So, and these are all, projected, yes, Monty? Oh, yes, public comment. Thank you for catching that.
That's why she's
Okay,
here.
so before we go to the revenues, we'll hit public comment. Reason why I forgot is because there is nobody here. So public comment 1 going once. Public comment 1 going twice. Public comment 1 going 3 times. Our first public comment is closed. Okay, now we'll go over the revenues. Thanks for catching that.
Thank you, Monica.
Excellent. Yeah, I don't know what I would do without everybody. Everybody's got their thing.
She's the bomb.
This is great. Okay, so our general property taxes, and these are all revenue projections. This is not all set in stone. This is what the finance department and the first select woman's office has worked out for our projected revenues for the year. And if I believe these are based on what we would consider somewhat conservative figures, is that correct, Jason?
That's correct.
Okay.
And you want me to, I can give you an update on property taxes if you'd like.
Yeah, why not? I mean, because that's the first thing on this list. So if you want to go over the property tax segment, go for it. Because you'll probably have a little bit more detailed information than we're going to see on here. So
Yes, I do have some updates.
go ahead. So Jason's going to go over the general property tax segment, which is the first, first 3. If you want to talk about the delinquents as well.
Current collections year to date, 47,151,000. We're just going to round to the thousands. Is that all right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is trending at 90%. 98% of the budget. You'll see the budget amount there, which is the 48,577,000. So we are on pace to meet our budgeted amount for the year. That would be the property tax line. Our prior year property tax, we're estimating at, it's tough to see on my screen here.
The 480,000.
480.
It's 480. And if you look at prior year collections, we should make that number. Again, these are recommended budget items for the next fiscal year. Supplemental car tax at 550 is the recommended budget for the next fiscal year. Our real estate conveyance tax, this is all property transfers that go through the town clerk office. We're estimating that at 220.
Okay.
So just go down the first page, or you want to stop and have some discussion, or what's?
Yeah,
this is good.
we're going to do some discussion. If you just want to go also through the penalties and interest on the taxes, since that's all part of the whole taxes thing.
Sure. So we got the property taxes, interest and liens, 325. Again, in line with prior years, nothing really new to report there. In the licenses and permit section, you have some pistol permits and some fire marshal permits.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that part.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about our property taxes. So now this is calculated right now at a 98.9% collection rate this year.
0.9.
98.9.
And we're currently at 98.
Okay,
Our current collection.
and so we are on track to meet that.
We are trending to meet that. Yes.
That's excellent. And then, of course, if we figure in that $642,000 surplus, estimated $642,000 surplus, I think we are looking pretty good. Now, I'll be honest, when we went into this, I was thinking we did boost that 90, that collection rate up last year, I think, and it was maybe, I think, taking a little bit of a gamble last year, but seeing that we are on track to meet that, I feel a little bit better about that going into this budget cycle as well. And I think that, when we get to that plateau, we should seriously consider keeping it at the same collection rate since we are on track and we do have this estimated $642,000 surplus just in the event we do fall a little bit short, which I don't think we will, based on where we are right now with the actuals for this year. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I would agree.
No, I have one
Beth,
question.
go ahead.
I have one question. On this spreadsheet, Jason, can we get the actuals for 2022 to 2023 and then 2023 to 2024, what is in so far? We have budget figures and no actuals for those last 2 years.
And which line?
Okay, I can provide those.
Okay, thanks.
actuals.
000?
Actuals year to date, our current fiscal year.
Right. That's okay.
Mhm.
That's what I want to say. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? So,
No questions.
all right. All right. So we're going to move on then to the licenses and permits revenue. They're expecting about 13,000 from that. And that's pistol permits, zoning permits, raffle, fire marshal permits, those types of things. 13,000 is pretty much in line with what it's been the past two budget cycles. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well, does that include zoning permits?
Yeah, zoning and state. Oh,
It's
wait.
all lumped
no,
into
hold,
one
no, hold
section?
on.
And state permits.
It does not. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
not.
so we have no,
Hold on. That
Money's
might
on
be.
That's a
Different
question
spot.
mark for me.
Okay, wait. Planning and zoning.
Zoning and state permits.
All right, so that's over here under general government, planning and zoning, 30,000. So Jason, looking at, if you move to the third page of the revenues, under general government, that $30,000 for planning and zoning, would that be considered our zoning and state permits revenue?
So on page 3 there, under general government, you have town clerk, planning and zoning, the zoning board of appeals, and the wetlands. Those are the budgeted fees by each department, so I think those would,
Okay, so that does fall into the zoning and state permits
yes.
line.
So
I could probably just on page 1, I could remove that line.
I was going to say,
Okay.
why
There's
would,
nothing,
why would that appear here?
Yeah, that's
That was my question to the chair.
cool. All right, well, at least it's on here somewhere, because that's a pretty big department, and there's going to be a lot of revenue coming up from that department this year with all of the building projects that are in the works and everything. So,
I removed the line for the viewers at home.
okay, cool. Yeah, the real-time thing is perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Which I cannot keep up with.
So now, anything else on licenses and permits? Okay, so non-business licenses and permits. So that'd be parking stickers, public works things.
Mr.
Go
Chairman,
ahead.
If I can just jump in for a quick second.
Mhm.
I am updating on the fly here, so can I just fill in for the Board of Finance the actual numbers there?
Yeah. You can move them over.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And go to a line item?
Huh?
A line item
Which line item?
of what he just updated.
No, he's updating the whole column as we go along.
okay.
So he's updating all the line items. This is the joys of technology. We could do this on the fly now. All right, so non-business licenses and permits. Bless you. They're estimating about 6,780.
we don't have anything for dog
Yeah, I
licenses?
was gonna ask that. Where's the dog licenses?
That goes into another section.
Okay, so let's
So
see.
again, would be page 3, under the town clerk.
Town clerk, yes. Okay. All right, so I guess you could do the same with that one.
I
I already did it. That is
Yep.
great.
So add licenses to town clerk.
No, that's
So it's included
that's
in that?
included in the town
It's in the
clerk
town
on the
clerk
third
line.
page. Okay, so $6,780 is what they're anticipating. I mean, that fluctuates a lot.
Yep.
21, 22 was around 12,630. But again, I think we're going with conservative
Yeah.
things here, so let's stay with that if everybody's all right with that. That's what was budgeted the previous year.
Yeah, well, he's gonna update the actuals for 2022 to 2023, so we'll be able to see that and what we have in so far,
Right,
But
right.
Still,
So we can
still
make
showing
an-
zero here.
a decision on that.
Right, because
So
it's,
put-
they didn't put it in this line. They put it in the town clerk's line here. So it's going to show zero there because that revenue is here.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So everybody's got that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just to
so
provide some
if
updated
there's a
numbers.
placeholder of a zero for something that we know there's a collection on, more than likely it's added into another department on here. And we're just gonna kind of clean that up, which
Oh.
Jason's doing now by deleting the line. And it makes more sense to have it in the actual department's revenue because dog licensing revenue is revenue that comes from the clerk's office.
Which I did not see, that was my question.
Okay, so moving on, intergovernmental revenues. I don't even really know what that is. Jason, could you give us a rundown on that?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman. Just to back up one last section to the non-business licenses and permits.
Yeah.
Current year to date for the Department of Public Works is $2,800, and we are budgeting $4,500. And for the parking stickers year to date, this was run today.
Oh, good. Okay.
Is 2,040, so 2,040, and we are budgeting 2,280 for the next fiscal year.
Say that
tuition-
again? I didn't hear, 2,000?
2040, 2040. First number was 2,800 for the Department of Public Works. The $5,000 for the tuition is any outside student that wishes to attend the school system in Seymour.
Okay, so that's, okay, account 330, 33010. So that's under the intergovernmental revenues.
That's the 5,000, yes.
Okay, and that's a constant or does that fluctuate?
It does fluctuate if you look at some of the prior years. However, the current year is zero.
Okay.
Year to date.
Okay. All right, any questions on that?
That would be something that the Board of Ed would be picking up, would it? Jason?
You would think, I don't
That
know.
was,
That wouldn't be something that the Board of Ed would be picking up?
that was my thought.
I can verify that number.
Can you? Thank you.
Okay, well, that'll be good because we're gonna have our Board of Ed discussion on Monday, so
Oh, God.
that'll be good if you can get that for Monday. And we can ask them that as well. Okay, so state and government shared revenues. Okay, so this is the education block grant, Board of Ed loan payment, which
No,
that's not in here this
That's
year.
paid.
Okay, so right now this is just basically the education block grant, and that is $11,771,547 is what they're looking at projecting for that.
And that comes,
That's correct. There's nothing really we can.
Yeah, that is what it
That
is.
number is, generated from the state.
Okay.
And the 75,000, I don't know if you guys recall, the council got
Right.
okay.
Yeah, we paid that.
And
that's right.
That's the last payment, yes.
Okay. So the budget that we're in now, this was the last payment on that.
That's correct.
All right, good.
and it's done.
Yeah. That ended quickly. I vaguely remember that wasn't
That's-
too long ago that
once
we
that was-
talked about that.
Reiterate, never a problem to reiterate, that's done.
That's a good thing. Okay. State government shared revenues. So these are like judicial grants, grants for municipal projects, revenue sharing of tax, sales tax, the road aid, the highway funds that we get for that, veterans exemptions, telephone tax, municipal motor vehicle grant, the Mashantucket Pequot Fund, and they're estimating $1,690,804 of revenue on that.
Question to the chair.
Yeah.
Question to the chair's distribution of telephone tax. Why isn't that part of? Never mind.
Disregard.
Disregard.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Chair. I know the state now has a program where they give us money back on these bottle taxes, 10 cents, or it's 10 cents this year, it was 5 cents last year. I don't see a line item for that revenue in here.
That is the NIPS grant that we get.
I can look into the NIPS.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's supposed to be the bottle tax bill or something.
Is
And
it
you're supposed to
10
get
or
back
5?
money. And each town shares in it, and the governor does it.
Yeah, in the past 3 years combined, we've had $53,000, I think, in 3 years.
Okay. All right,
And that's not in here?
I'll look into that.
he's gonna look into it.
Okay.
One thing I do want to notice as you're reviewing these numbers,
Mhm.
The bottom of that page, you'll notice the motor vehicle grant.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at last year's budget compared to this year's budget,
Yeah.
there's a significant increase, so that may be a question that you guys may have.
I do.
So,
That was,
Okay.
I knew,
So-
why?
I knew it was coming, yes.
Why?
So
Yeah, how did you come to that?
So year to date, we've received 597,000.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, so we're trending that way.
We are.
The
And
state,
what is that?
being nice
Just-
to us.
Yeah, why are they being nice to us? What is that
Because of
grant?
the rate, the mill, between the difference between the
Between
mill rate
the
and the
mill rate difference, okay.
32.46, correct?
Okay.
Right.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Because we didn't get that last year, right?
We did, but we got shortchanged or something.
less
I know there was
last
a
year.
problem with it, yeah.
Yeah, there was
This
a
is the
problem
fir-
with
this
it
is the
last
first year
year.
we get a full amount.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna get it or not, we'll see.
I think we're at 500,000 already.
Yeah, that's why
I mean, I
I
think
really
we're okay.
wanna see the actuals.
597.
597? Yeah, so we're trending there. That's good. And then with that bottle tax thing, once you look into that, I mean, if that's not in here anywhere, could you make a line for that? For the government shared revenues?
Lumped in with maybe grants for municipal project. Because I know we use it in the, through the chair, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Public Works, because that's how they're looking at getting a sweeper so we can sweep the sidewalks. This sweeper also is able to go into the storm drains and suck the nips out of the storm drains. It will give us money it allows us, to purchase the netting that goes underneath the storm drains to catch any solid so it doesn't enter there to cause any backup. So that's what that money has to be used for.
Okay.
As
And I
opposed to
believe
all
it
the
is
stuff that
very
winds up on my yard.
Okay, so that is earmarked.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
all right.
what
I'm almost sure it is, but I'll double check and I'll find out exactly what line item.
okay. Okay. For Monday. Okay, so everybody's good to move on then, to the next category.
Where are you?
The next category would be state government payments in lieu of taxes. So property tax loss in the pilot program for the Smith and Ray house, Callahan and Ray house. So you're looking at collecting about 50,000 this year. And it's kind of in line. What, do you have any actuals on that?
I do, the property tax loss, 31,000 in the pilot program, which is the next line item
Mhm.
there, 26,000.
26K. Okay. All right. So again, I think that's pretty conservative then, looking at our actuals with that 50,000 projected revenue. Anybody have any questions there?
Yep, $1,000 not gonna make a difference, so.
Yeah, it's a difference of about $7,000. I'd like to see when we put the actuals in for the year of 2022, to see how the trend is.
Okay.
Okay.
General government. Okay, so town clerk, this is all of the money that our departments bring in. Okay, so town clerk, you're looking at 125,000. That's kind of been the same for the past few years. Same thing with planning and zoning with 30,000. Our zoning board of appeals, like 4,500. That's kind of been the same for the past few years. Inland wetlands, 5,000. That's kind of been the same for the last few years. So we're looking at $164,500 total revenue with our town departments. So Jason, would you say that we are on track with our actuals with that?
For the town clerk, yes. For the other departments, I'd have to look into that because I don't have that.
Okay.
Those details.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know that we had raised our rates on different things.
Yeah.
In the past 2 years.
Right, yeah, the transfer station
Yeah,
fees and things
so
like
I
that.
would've thought those would have gone up.
Okay, yes, actually, when you get the actuals for these, if you could also please check on where the transfer station carding fees and all of that come in as well.
And if
Because
that
that's a new thing that we just implemented, so that would not have been in any previous budget revenue.
So the transfer station,
It's listed down
two
here.
sections down below.
Mhm.
So it's after public safety.
Oh,
Yeah.
and sanitation.
Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
Never
See,
mind.
In
Yep.
2021, 2022, we brought in like 90,000. And we don't have the actuals for 2022 to 2023 and year to date. So
Right.
Where do you
Once
see,
we get those,
where do you see 90,000?
at the sanitation.
All right, well, let's get to sanitation when we get there.
Yep.
Because we're almost there. All right, so 164,500 is the projected general government income. Is everybody good with that? Any questions on that?
Barring the sanitation transfer commercial. Yes.
Okay. All right, public safety is the next one. So we're looking at $260,000, and that's from the building inspector. So I'm assuming that's permit fees.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
remodeling, things of that nature.
Okay. And there's been a lot going on lately.
I have a question, Rich.
Yeah.
That line item site inspection revenue, that's blank, is that lumped in with the building inspector?
I'm going to assume, yeah, because that's a building inspector thing.
They
Jason,
broke
is
it
that
out
correct?
at one
It
time?
is, yes.
Okay.
And then to the chair,
Mhm.
the WPCA liens, why is that empty?
I don't think the town gets that money. That's Viola's deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have
that was,
anything actual on that line item. It was budgeted for 6,500 in 2022. But you can see there's no actuals for any of those other.
and
Do you know why we did
part of that question was because it isn't
I don't know, I'll
owed
have to
to
go
the
back to my
town,
notes.
it's owed
22,
to
23?
WPCA.
I'll have to go back and
It's-
look. I thought we
And
were
it was
supposed to get something
stipulated
from
in
them,
one of the reports that we would be getting
but
that.
I don't remember
and it
why it
doesn't.
was
goes
put
to
in. So I'm
WPCA.
gonna go
Just
back.
that 1 year.
Right, well, because
So that was
WPCA
the
is
reason.
Yeah, I'll
not a
have to go
town.
back to the
owned
budget of that
entity.
year
Right,
and see
but
what
it
the
was
notes
brought
were.
up in an earlier board meeting that we would be getting that revenue, so that was why I asked the question.
Through the chair,
Yes.
the town will never see any WPCA money for liens or anything under the Clean Water Act. The money must be kept separate. The town already got into trouble once with that when we went and put sidewalks in with the WPCA money.
Thank you
That's
for
right,
that
so-
clarification, I appreciate it.
When did that happen? A long time ago?
When
But it
John
was brought
O'Toole
up.
was
Oh.
first selectman.
No need to say anymore.
Well, and it was brought up earlier
I don't know
that,
why this was put in. There was a reason
It
why
was-
Bill put that in.
Yeah, I
That-
don't remember why.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's strange.
I'm going
Was
to go
it
through
because
the little
town
notes.
clerks have to file liens?
yes, and then they reported it as potential income.
They did, and then we told them that you couldn't do that because it not our money to touch.
So if that was the case, then that 6,500 shouldn't have never even been in there and should have been taken out.
Yeah, I
Even
don't
that-
know.
Just
even
a
that-
reiteration
I'm gonna go
and
back to budget,
clarification,
so-
that was all, so
Take
thank
the
you.
line item right out.
I'll go through the my 22-23 budget finder at some point before Monday and see what we did
They
there.
didn't burn it yet?
All right,
Really?
next sanitation. No, not
Shred
yet.
it.
I keep them for 4 years. And sanitation. Okay, so here we go. Transfer station for commercial revenue, residential, and revenue from recycling. They're looking at about 55,500 projected for this year. Jason, any good things there?
Yeah, so the transfer station for commercial, we're currently trending at 16,000. The
Okay.
next line item, which is the residential.
Mhm.
Again, 16,000 as well.
Wow,
And recycling, 13,000.
Okay, so that's down, well,
say the recycling again for me,
13,000.
13,000.
ouch.
Those dived, huh?
Now, the revenue from the recycling, though, we
Still
get that
got
from
4
the,
It did go
the,
down a
the
while.
garbage company, correct? So is that a quarterly payment, or do they do that quarterly?
If I could.
Yeah.
So, we do get that revenue from recycling, and it is quarterly, but recycling costs have gone down,
Yes,
drastically.
exponentially, yes.
We actually are having to pay more than
Yep.
what we're getting back in some cases,
Better if
Okay.
it's garbage.
so.
And that had, and to the chair, that had been brought up earlier, where recycling used to save us money, and now it's not. It's the
Correct.
same as garbage, collect it, put it in, and be done with
Can't
it.
do that, that's against the law.
Yeah, okay, yes.
We don't want any fines from the DEP or the EPA, so please don't tell people to do that.
No.
Because when we pay for the recycling into the trash, they
Yeah.
actually charge us because we pay by the ton for trash.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so being that revenue from the recycling is a quarterly payment, we're at 13,000 now. So we should be receiving another payment from them in the fiscal year, correct?
I would imagine 2 more payments,
2 more payments. Okay.
which would then put us on target.
Okay.
Yep. Cool.
Perfect. All right. We got nothing under health. All right, so culture and rec. All right, so remember how we were talking about the community center being a revenue generator? This is that. Okay, so that would be the rec basketball program, recreation trips, senior center dues, the summer camp revenue, which is a huge hit with the kids. They love it, and I think we're probably going to see even more attendance this year. Senior lunch, the recreation and senior sports, they're projecting about $206,400 this year. And see a pretty decent bump, I think, in the summer camp. From 102 last year to 118,000, and then also the same with the senior center dues. So they've had an uptick in attendance and interest with that. It's great. Jason, anything you want to talk about there, like our actuals?
That's a little tough because the actual really registration would be in the next couple of months.
Right. Well, the summer camp program for this year, we're probably not going to see until like June-ish.
So, right. Right. And
June
May-
or
Right. Well, they do the early registration too, so.
Right, so they're not reflected in these numbers.
Okay.
The actual comparison really doesn't help in any analysis.
Okay.
What about revenues for the senior trips? I mean, they,
Same thing, it's not
Where
gonna
is
show
that?
up till July.
So the revenues for the senior trips, there's $1,600.
1,600.
Actual,
don't they have a lot of trips?
Yeah,
I
but
thought they,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
they
the-
try to
I
keep
thought they
them
had-
low
The
cost.
trips, I think, are whatever it costs them to put it on. I think they
So
try to
it's
do
sort
an
of net
even
net?
thing. like a wash.
Okay,
It's a wash, yeah.
Yeah.
Money in, money out.
money in out, okay.
Any questions or anything on the culture and recreation revenue? No? Okay, miscellaneous revenue. So this would be police reports, car fees, tax service fees, police admin fees, community service ads. I just have a question on that. What is
Yeah.
community service ads, Jason?
That's the, isn't that the flyer they put out?
Yeah. I would-
Oh, okay, so it's the ads to go into the
That
newsletter.
Yeah, you guys get those mailings, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
I don't, but we'll work on it.
And then was it miscellaneous grant revenues as well. So you're
What's that?
projecting $114,500, and
That's correct.
last year we projected 467,000.
Well, that's because
We
we
had
had
a
that.
sale.
Center. I mean, oh my gosh,
Sold.
sorry.
Center
Center Street.
Center Street.
Oh,
Right, so you'll see
Big.
350,000.
That's Center Bank, wasn't it? Bank Street. Bank Street.
Bank Street, yeah. Center.
Bank Street,
The
not,
old-
not,
It's the old Center.
okay.
Street
Sale of surplus property.
Yes.
Gotcha.
for those of us
All right.
who grew up
That's right. They snuck that in there last
we're
year.
doing this live.
there. Yep.
So if you remove
Cool.
the
Are we selling
350, you're on.
anything
You're on.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the
All right.
350 minus that, okay.
Okay. So anybody got any questions on that?
No, I wish we weren't live.
Say that.
Okay.
Wow.
Fines. Ordinance fines. Parking fines. That's $5,100 projection.
God.
That seems to be a couple years now, the same numbers.
It's not gonna change.
Yeah, everybody good with that?
Not gonna change.
Okay.
Like I said, I want to see the actuals.
Special assessments.
Hmm. Hmm. This is interesting.
Sewer assessments, 180,000. Water assessments, 90,000. Water assessment interest, 15,000. For a grand total of $285,000 projected. Seems like
A lot.
the past 2 years has been the same that we have budgeted for, and then the 21-22 we budgeted for 328,000. Have we gotten any of those fees in yet?
So the current sewer assessment, year-to-date figure is 107,000.
What was
The
sewer
water
assessment?
I'm sorry,
I'm just writing it down. 107?
107,000.
Mm-hmm.
The water assessment is 51,000. And the interest is 4,000.
Ouch. So how do we do
And this
that?
is revolving, so we're still collecting this, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it trending above or below? To the chair, sorry.
Well, it is what it is at the moment. I mean, you're expecting more revenue, correct?
Yes, so my only.
From those?
These are assessments on the older projects that have been bonded.
Right.
Okay.
in the past.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could, through the chair, so your sewer assessments are for those homes that have sewers and they put it in, so they, some of those assessments are 20, 30, maybe even longer for the year. Same thing with the water assessment for those who have, that hooked up to the water, and the water assessment interest is those payments that are made late and collecting interest. The only way your sewer assessments or water assessments will go up is if a new housing complex goes in where they hook up to the sewer system and the water system.
Okay.
Perfect, thank you very much.
So we are expecting more revenue from
Yep.
them throughout the course of the year because some of those people probably haven't gotten a bill yet.
Great, thank you.
Okay, investment earnings. The interest in the general fund, $250,000. That is beautiful.
God,
Thank you, Jason.
Yes, thank you.
Big jump.
That's great. So that
Thank you, too
obviously
little.
that's based on
I
what
know.
we've been discussing with our $3,000 a week.
Daily.
daily, $3,000 a day.
So that's a thank
So
you
that's
too
pretty
little?
conservative.
That's a thank you too little?
So since we instituted the savings account, it was back on either February 13th or 14th through today. It's approximately $90,000 of interest earned just from that 1 month. The daily amounts are approximately $3,000. They started off at $3,300, but they were obviously using some of our balance to fund operations. So there's 2 times of the year where we'll have $3,300 a month. That will be in the July period, and that will be in the January period. And as long as interest rates stay where they are, which if you call it any economic reports,
Yeah.
we should be at least till the end of the year. We should be at that.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, this is
That's
good.
awesome.
So
We
that's-
like money.
Thank you to Jason.
Yeah,
who
good job,
came up
Jason.
with
It's like
that.
found money.
We like money.
Okay, so anybody got anything on the investment earnings?
God.
Just let Jason keep making money for us.
Keep making money.
Could you make me money like that? You wanna come work for me?
Making money, making money.
You can make it for yourself.
Don't
Yeah.
film that.
There's
Don't film
high
it.
yield savings out
Yeah,
there.
the problem is you need the capital in order to do that.
Gotta stay on top
And then
of
we
it, too.
can't do
Yeah,
a TikTok
same
video.
All right, moving on. Other finance sources. We don't have any other sources this year.
Nope.
We haven't in a while. So, and then coming down here, the use of the fund balance.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
Tell me.
look, they're looking for 250,000 to use from the fund balance this year. So, if we look at the 2023-2024 year, it was only 75,000. But then if we look at the 22-23, it was 400,000. But
Yep.
there were reasons for that. That was the deficit, I believe, with the Board of Education.
God, I
Correct.
can't even believe we're still
That
dealing
was,
with that.
yeah.
That was the Board of
That was
Education.
the biggie.
We're still dealing with that.
Actually, we're not. That was in
Stop.
22-23. So right now, the use of the fund balance would be to help
Keep taxes low.
offset our expenses. I mean, luckily that thing is in the past,
Yes.
and hopefully we can move on
Okay.
from that completely.
Which we have.
Right. Everything is good now with that.
It's good. Love it.
So, the use of the $250,000 fund balance, and I know this is usually a discussion that we have every year, is, I know some of us on this board are, okay, cool, let's use some fund balance. We have a healthy fund balance. And then some of us on this board are, I don't really think we should use that much. So let's, I think, have a discussion as to how everybody feels about using that. And I will start by saying that our fund balance is pretty healthy right now with the $6,480,096 with our 10.38%, return on that. So,
Like our railroad
normally in years past, I would probably be like, well, I'm not too sure. But I think because our fund balance is pretty healthy, I mean, I don't this year see a problem using $250,000 of it.
It won't hurt our
So
rating at all,
let's,
right?
let's open that up to discussion. Okay, so the question is, will it hurt the bond rating?
Right.
Jason or Anne Marie, do you want to speak on the bond rating? I mean, I think, well, go ahead, you.
Because our bond rating went down last year.
I'm sorry?
Our bond rating went down last
It
year.
dropped.
What's it, last year it went down, the bond
It
rating?
dropped, yeah.
Double A, I think.
It did. I think as Anne Marie explained in her presentation, we got past a couple of tough years, and now we're trending in the right direction again. But when you see adding 600 plus or minus, depending on the final results of the audit, that increases our fund balance. And then the subsequent year, if we're going to use 250, that would decrease our fund balance.
Correct.
Would be the estimate.
Okay.
And I do want to just bring up one other point. As you guys discussed the fund balance, if you notice we went through all the expenses the other day, and the first select woman, her budget, if you look at the total expenditures, $66,237,380. And if you look at the revenue section here, on the page that you're looking at now,
Higher.
for the first select woman, 66,237,380. So that 250,000 makes the revenues equal the expenditures. The other day, on Monday, you guys put forth an additional 5,000 of expenditures.
Mhm.
So then that would increase your amount would have to be 255,000.
Right.
Yep.
So discussion on the use of the fund balance.
So our fund balances, our rating's still double A then, right?
Our rating
No.
is still double A, we still have a good rating. We were knocked down from a double A plus
Plus.
to a double A when we had to use the, 400,000.
Back in 22-23.
Right. But we're building it back up. Our debt to income ratio is where it needs to be for us to go out to bonding, to get new roads, to improve our schools. So,
And the debt to income ratio is 5.4%. You were getting there. One step ahead of you.
Thank you.
All right. So, fund balance discussion?
No, I just want to see the other actual numbers, that's all.
Okay.
And I was wondering if Jason could estimate what he thinks the interest might be till the end of the year. The interest for the general fund, if you can estimate what you think it might be. You're saying it's like, what, 90, what are you getting, like 36?
3,000 a day.
Yeah, 3,000 a day. So you're getting 93,000 a month. Yeah,
Right, so that was, we started
so
at.
4 months
we were-
at
We were
93.
previously getting about 3,300 a day.
Okay.
Back in the middle of February when we first started. But
Okay,
then, we're not getting any more revenue in, right? We're not collecting any more taxes.
right,
So our balance in our account
Right.
is just going down as we have expenditures in the normal course of business. So
Okay.
I would not anticipate another 90,000 per month,
okay,
because we're going to be getting less as we use the funds up until July when we replenish again.
okay. Okay.
Anything else? All right, so the grand total of all our revenues, we're looking at $66,237,380.
Plus that 5,000.
Well, right, plus the 5,000. So,
So what's that?
actually, Jason, did you do that?
What's that? Can you put-
Yeah, could you do
roll
that?
in?
The 250,000, 255,000.
55, right?
Correct.
There you go.
Okay, so now our grand total is 66,240. What? 66,242,380. 242,380.
Okay.
Carol, you could probably
Which-
see that better than me. Is that correct? 66,242,380.
Oh, she's gotta get her glasses.
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
there's also a screen over here.
Oh, that's even worse. The angle.
Yeah, it's an angle, yeah.
We need one in the
fine.
middle.
Yeah.
We need one
Yeah,
right
there
in
you
the
go.
middle, right there.
All right.
The big drop down screen.
That'll be good. No, you know what'll be really good is if we all get computers to do this with next year.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to have that.
Yeah, I think that might actually be a reality though,
Look at it.
with some new programs and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Or a
that we've
drop
got
down
coming
in the
down.
middle for
That would be
us
nice.
Paper.
versus-
There's no money to buy
I like paper.
No, we'll use
A drop-down
refurbs or
screen.
the throwaways that we can adjust.
We need tabletop. Like a tabletop in front of mine, but we love
Mm.
Monaco.
Oh, we need to see it.
We love, just don't say anything. We love Monaco, but yeah.
Okay. So does anybody have anything else they want to discuss in regards to the revenues? I mean, I think we're looking pretty good. Overall, things seem to be trending in a very positive direction on pretty much all aspects of things. I mean, and just even between our revenues and our expenses, I mean, you know, a lot of us been on this board for a while. I think this has definitely been one of the best budgets that we've seen in a while,
It's been nice.
and I think it's so far so good.
Been nice.
I think it's a fair budget, and as long as we keep moving things forward and things keep trending in positive directions with our revenues, I think we're going to be okay. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I mean, how does everybody up here feel about our finances right now between revenues and expenditures and the things that we've just gone over the past couple of days? I mean, you know, this is a time where we should have some general discussion as to where everybody feels we are. I guess we'll start down here.
Thanks.
I always start on my left.
I know. My concern is referendums, right? People don't like, I know it's not a big increase. People don't like to see increases.
Right.
So I was hoping as going through the expenses, you know, we could get something significant out so that the taxes stay flat.
Mhm.
That's my concern. I mean,
Right.
it's not even, you know, it's a very small increase, but an increase is an increase. And as we all know, this town does not like increases.
Right. I mean, I think we're kind of at that stage where, I mean, I think we're going to see small increases almost every budget cycle. I mean, you know, sure, our revenues could be astronomical in one year and things will be better in another year. And I think we have a lot of good things coming down the pike, which is going to offset some of that. But I think, you know, we have to be realistic. The cost of every single thing is going through the roof, you know, and we're not immune to that as a municipality. It's just the way that it is. Yes, go ahead.
Very quickly this year, if you look at your budgets, you'll see that every single year since 2018, we've had an increase, whether it be a 0.54 increase. Even though it doesn't, you know, everybody looks at that mill rate. But that mill rate is just a multiplier. The taxes can go up with the mill rate, the taxes can go down, and the mill rate will still stay the same. We hope, you know, we're trending forward. We're getting businesses in, and we're hoping that that helps us. Building of the houses is helping us as well, but as costs go up, it costs the town. It's like
Absolutely.
going to a job and working there for a certain amount of money and then not getting a raise for 5 years, but everything else around you is going up. And I know that that's what the people are feeling at home because they're not getting raises at home either. And I understand that. But we cut so much last year that the increases this year were a little bit higher, especially in the utilities. Utilities is the highest thing that has gone up.
Some of the salaries were a little,
The salaries have gone up, but we also had if you looked at it in the unions, with the unions, that money was put in contingencies.
Yes.
So it looks as if there are like 12% increases, 11% increases, but those monies were put in a contingency. We just couldn't show that amount because we're in negotiations. You just can't show that amount. And, you know, union contracts are every 5 years, and we have to make sure everybody is bargaining in good faith.
so we have a few more years before that happens again.
Correct.
Everybody's on
Absolutely.
the same cycle.
Absolutely.
Board of Ed, I think, is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, not-
But
not-
the town has the police officers in 2025. That's it.
Okay.
Jim.
I think considering how much the town got cut last year, I think this is a good budget. Hopefully we'll
Bev?
pass one vote.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts are the taxpayers will let us know, and,
Yes.
you know, they don't like increases, so, you know, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And I just don't wanna go through 3 budgets again.
No, me neither. Absolutely not.
So I
And
just think we need to really make sure that this is a good budget to put out there to them, because they're looking, and they're going to, put it down.
Mhm.
So,
we'll see.
see.
We'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I think it looks pretty good as of right now, better than it has in years past, and hopefully the people will feel the same way.
hopefully, we'll see.
But yeah,
Time will tell.
Thank you, Chair Richard, and for everyone that has contributed to this. I feel the same way. The exponential increase in household goods and cost of living has depleted a lot of people. We're here to recommend the best budget to move this town forward, as always, to only move this town forward with the least amount of tax increases. And the budget, as everyone else here has mentioned, is far below what we've done in the past. And we're not putting anything forward that is padded to get through the next referendum. So I'm good with it, and I support the entire board here to only recommend, not vote on the budget, but to recommend a budget to the town to vote on themselves. So thank you.
Kristen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think being on this board for a couple years now, it's a fair budget, and the people will let us know what they like and what they don't like. So.
Carol.
Well, I'm new to the board this year, so this is all new to me. So I'm going to put my faith in the rest of you and go forward, move forward.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. All right. So, our next move here, we'll get to that on new business. All right. So, does anybody else have anything they want to discuss regarding the revenues, other than seeing the actuals? If you could just print that out for us and make a column or whatever, however you feel as though it's going to be the easiest to do that. Just so we have it to take a look at on Monday, and we'll start Monday off with just reviewing that really quickly before we get into our Board of Education discussion, and then wrapping this whole thing up. So with that, anybody got anything else? No. Okay, public comment number 2, going once. Public comment number 2, going twice. Public comment number 2, going 3 times. Second public comment is closed. There's nobody here from the public. Item number 6, correspondence. Has we gotten anything? Any emails?
No.
I haven't received anything.
We are taking emails for questions from the public. Nothing? Good.
I haven't received.
Anne-Marie, anything? No. Okay, item number 7, new business. So, the plan moving forward, we're getting down to the end of this process. Monday, when we come in, we will look over our actuals that Jason provides to us. We will have a discussion on what we're going to do with the Board of Education and how we're going to approach that. And then once that is over, we will take a vote to move this through to the public hearing. And that's the action that we will be taking on Monday, is we will just be moving it to the public hearing. No? We're not moving it to the public hearing?
You have to send it to the town clerk for the April 1st deadline.
Then it goes to the public hearing. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we'll be moving it then to the clerk. And
Public
then,
hearing is April 3rd.
right, then from the
April
clerk,
3rd.
it goes to the
The
hearing.
17th?
No, the 17th is the
It's
town
April.
meeting.
Oh,
April
okay.
3rd.
April.
What is April 3rd? April 17th
Is
is
the
the
town
town meeting
meeting.
at the community center at 7 o'clock.
Right.
The budget has to be to the town clerk for people to review April 1st.
Right.
There'll be copies put at the town hall, there'll be copies put at the community center, there'll be copies put at the library as, for people to review. Then April 17th, again, 7 o'clock, community center, in the bingo room is when we'll have our town meeting. There, the residents will have the right to say it's too high, as we did the last time.
Right.
And we'll have a person checking each person in at the door, so they need to have their license or a piece of paper to show that they are a resident
Okay.
or own a business.
Right. So our action Monday is moving it to the
So
clerk.
there's nothing on April 3rd, correct?
Not that I'm aware.
No, no. April 3rd is the hearing,
What hearing?
What hearing?
No, there's no hearing.
the budget hearing.
Yeah, we always
The
have
budget hearing is on April 3rd here at 7 o'clock.
for you guys
Yes,
to move it forward.
to move it to the town meeting.
It can't be, because the budget has to be into the town clerk on April 1st.
Right. We voted a couple weeks ago to set the town hearing, our town hearing, April 3rd,
Yeah, that's what
okay?
I had down.
And then the town meeting, which is April 17th,
Right.
okay? That's,
So
What
how
we
are you
do.
gonna have a budget to the town clerk on April 1st per the town charter?
right, our budget's gonna be to the clerk on Tuesday morning after we wrap this up on Monday. And,
Can't do that. Per the town charter, it has to be April 1st.
by April 1st.
By April 1st, it has to be to the town charter. By town charter, it has to be to the town clerk by April 1st.
Right, so this Monday is the 18th. The town clerk is going to have this on the 19th,
Okay,
okay?
you said April 3rd.
No, the clerk's gonna have it on the 19th. And then on April 3rd, we have the hearing.
Okay,
And then on after April 3rd's hearing, that's when we move it to the town meeting on April 17th. And then on April 17th, that's when we move it to referendum. Yes,
okay,
that's exactly how this goes.
okay.
That I'm positive on.
I thought once you guys once you have it set to the town clerk on April 1st, that is what you're hearing, that you all agree to present this budget to the people.
Yes.
For the town hearing.
No,
It's not.
no. The deadline being April 1st is when the clerk needs to receive it by. But we still have to have a public hearing, which is on April 3rd. The public hearing is when people are going to come down here and they're going to speak for 2 minutes as to how,
We did it on
We did it.
April 4th last year.
right, this year's April 3rd. Yeah. Yeah. I got it right.
You rock, baby.
Well, I do. 12 years on the board,
You're good. You're good.
Okay, any other new business? No? Then I will entertain that magic motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Betty Ann,
A second.
second by Kristen. Any discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Chair votes aye, motion carries.